Hello, good morning from sunny Aussie wintertime mornings. Well, I just realised a few days ago that I'm moving into my next master fast in a few days on the new moon, and I felt so not ready. I've had a really challenging week financially with my computer crashing and my car needing expensive repairs and not having the way to sort that out financially, and it kind of ungrounded me a little bit, and that's when I realized, oh, I'm moving into my next fast soon and I'm not ready. So it was a beautiful week to kind of find the gold in challenges, and eventually I just said to myself that I need to drop absolutely everything that's not related just to sort out these two little things. And it made me drop quite a few things that I'd been pouring so much energy and joy into in manifesting my new business and many other things coming along. But in dropping those things, I actually just felt a lot of relief. This feeling of just stopping for a week, trying to put energy into sorting out my life. And the more I felt into that, the more I actually moved out of feeling, oh, I'm not ready for this fast, and kind of into the feeling of, oh my gosh, just remembering that fasting brings to me peace and connection and groundedness and everything that I had been trying to call in this very busy, challenging week. So I began to actually feel what a blessing it is that I'm moving into fasting next week. And I begin to feel like all my energy that has been quite outward, I begin to feel all my energy beginning to come back closer into me. The reason I'm lying on the floor this morning is because I'm just celebrating that I have finally sorted out all the little challenges this week, and I'm just relaxing before I have to get on with my day. So yeah, a lot of people might feel that just because I'm moving into a longer fast that it's all easy for me. I'm actually just blown away and amazed at the fact that I'm able to move into a 28-day fast. I'm definitely not saying it's easy. Like, there's a part of me that understands the journey a little bit more from my 21-day fast in February, but there's a whole part of me where it's just some completely unknown territory. And what I feel about fasting in regards to what it can bring to us is that it's something that has to be experienced. We can read all about it and understand the science behind it and what happens to the body and what can clear out the emotions, but it's really nothing until we have experienced it. Years and years ago, when I did my very first fast, it was a 1-day fast. That's all I felt capable to do. And I think I had maybe 6 oranges that I was going to juice during the day. And the night before, I was petrified. I was so terrified of this day ahead of fasting. Wow, I was so scared. So the fasting day came, and I had arranged the day so that I could be by myself and not have to work. And by 11 o'clock, oh my god, I was feeling crazy. I had to go back to bed. was having like hot and cold sweats and shivers and headache and nausea, and kind of was almost like a psychedelic journey. There was just so many visuals and images just passing through my mind really, really fast. So I just curled up in bed and was tossing and turning for a few hours, and then eventually I fell asleep and woke up in the late afternoon feeling really, really clear and really light and so wonderful. And I went out and worked in the forest for hours and hours, and I was thinking like, how am I able to do this? I've only had a bit of orange juice today. Really, really amazing. And so that was the experience of that fast that stayed with me. And that really, I think it took me about 6 months to integrate that, and I feel actually really grateful that I didn't have at that time any access to internet or books or any information about fasting, because possibly if I had read all the crazy things that can happen, all the emotions that can come up and the body things, I probably would have just sat on the fear side of things and not jumped in. So I'm just really, really glad I jumped in, and that's a little bit what I'm feeling when initially I felt, oh my god, I'm like starting this 28-day fast in a few days. Oh my god. Yeah, I feel a bit of fear, but you know, I'm just jumping in. I'm just jumping in because through the actual experience of something, you know, we can read all these things that like how much we might have to go through and how painful it is to go through all the emotions or the toxins that come out. But ultimately, when we experience things ourselves, it can be a whole lot different. And we can, you know, find in the moment that we're actually much stronger than we think that we have been. What fasting really brings to me is a richness to this experience of life, and I feel that it's like an inner richness, and that this society is, as we know, more about the outer richness. Have a good career, you know, have plenty of income, don't be struggling, have a lovely family, go on travels. And I know it all looks good, and it can be really, really, it can be a very beautiful life as well. But I think that what I was missing from that equation was this search for needing to feel inner richness in my life. And that the rest of it wasn't really meaning very much to me. And it's been very, very hard to find, like, first of all, what is inner richness? What am I even looking for? I just know I'm looking for something. And how do I find it? Because it's an unknown experience, so, and it's one that has to be experienced. It can't be read, it can't be listened to, it has to actually be experienced. So someone can't really give this experience to you or show it to you. They can only show you the way to begin to maybe jump in yourself. So I guess there's many ways to really enrich our lives, but definitely this temple that houses our soul, helping it get rid of all the toxins and the plaque and the mucus that we've collected from our lifestyle, just allows it to lighten its vibration and allows so much life to flow through, and that can only be experienced. So most of you might know that I lived in this meditation community in the forest for a long time, and this attracted many yogis and kind of very strict meditator people, and all these people very, very strict on raw food and fruitarian and sproutarian and all this. And at the time where I was myself, I didn't really understand these people. Um, a lot of them carried with them like a huge kind of spiritual ego, and that's what really turned me off for a long time, looking at any kind of body cleaning or yoga or anything, because these people, these not everyone obviously who's on these paths, but just a lot of these people that came into my life, they were just too high and mighty and better than the rest of the people because they were fasting or doing yoga. So that turned me off for a long time, and that's why it had to become my own personal experience. That one day fast many years ago just brought me so many insights that I still didn't really understand, because my body was so heavy and so toxic, and my mind and emotions were so tangled that it can't just be all untangled in once. It's just an untangling during this life story. I think after that, like maybe even a year later or something, I might have done a 3-day fast and got a little bit more insight, and it's just been like that, just a little bit at a time when I've been able to. But what I'm receiving from this fast, what's my personal embodied experience, initially obviously it was just to feel better, because like I shared in another video, I was sure that I was dying. I felt so sick for so long, and I just thought this is what getting old is all about, 33 years old, getting old. How crazy is, anyway, that was the initial thing, was just to feel better. But what's happening and continuing to happen as I live with the mucus-free diet, or the transition diet, just generally living mucus-free and using the master fast to kind of jump in and dig deeper, which is a brilliant place to begin to actually start on the mucus-free diet, is to start with a fast. Absolutely a brilliant way to start. Anyway, what I'm receiving from it, from my own personal journey, is that I catch myself in the mirror sometimes, and I know physically there's some things that are different. I've lost a bit of weight, and my eyes and skin is brighter and things like this, but it's not that. It's what I feel inside, which is just feeling like the beauty of my being, kind of like how I would have felt when I was a child. Just pure beauty and life flowing through. And that's where I'm feeling moving into this next fast next week. How grateful I am to throw off more cobwebs that I carry, and more blockages and barriers that I carry within myself, to just radiating who I am. Such a journey, so beautiful. I feel ultimately that our soul comes down, and it is so incredible, this soul. But over our lifetime, possibly because we are so sensitive, we unconsciously feel the need to block our bodies with the heavier foods, because we can't handle the sensitivity to this society. And what I'm feeling is, it's taking me many years to be able to find the place and to slowly unblock this body. And each time I unblock it, there's a period of just integrating the new sensitivity that comes. And I'm feeling that slowly what's happening is that this body that has been for decades heavy and dense and just full of tangled emotions and thoughts, and maybe even karmas, who knows. This body is slowly becoming lighter, it's slowly becoming cleaner. The mucus and all this plaque from all this really bad food I've been eating for so long, and all the alcohol and the sugar and all that stuff that's being released slowly, slowly, and the emotions are untangling and twisting with it, and the mind is just becoming simpler, and slowly the body is beginning to match the vibration of the soul, which is incredible. And then there becomes, I become holistically a vibration, body and soul, the same as existence. There isn't any more, well, this is the path of there becoming less and less blockages and resistances between me and this whole beautiful life existence. And this gratitude for having discovered mucus free and moving into fasting, like, oh my god, 28 days, like, okay, for like some people that's probably not even a lot, you know. I know there's a lot of people, they do 108 days, you know, just wow. But for me it's huge. And what I feel about that is that, you know, there was a time when even the one day fast, even a half a day fast was too much. Just remember that who you think you are and what you think your limitations are and what you can't do, or what you could never do is all changeable. It's not set in stone. You've just got to jump in, and jump in now. Jump in right now. Don't sit on the fence of fear. Jump in, and you will have an embodied experience, and this will be yours forever. This is the true transformation that no book or YouTube talk is going to bring you. Just jump in. Just think about it. One day not eating is not going to cause you any harm. Even 3 days, 3 weeks is not going to cause any harm. And what you will experience during that, it's not going to be comfortable. Well, it might be. A lot of people find fasting completely blissful. Completely blissful. So that's another thing. It may be way more blissful than you even thought it might be. But even if it's not comfortable, the main thing that it is it's enriching to this journey of life. Enriching, deeply enriching in the inner world that nobody can take away. That will be your personal experience. And the last thing is, this is before before 28 days, and let's see, it'll be really interesting to check in and see how things change. And oh my goodness, sometimes I wonder how I got myself on this journey in life, but wouldn't take it back for the world. So I leave you with this and the message to live your nectar.